Hi, welcome to Golden Years. I'm Lori Betts. This month, my special guest is Carl DeForest, our wonderful city manager of Brunswick. And he is going to share with us, he's going to give us an update on 2020 and how we are rolling into 2021 with all the new things happening in Brunswick. So come on back and we'll update you.
If you love concerts and live theater, going to baseball games, and eating in restaurants, inside. If you love parties and the small talk with the guy who makes you iced coffee the right way, then wear a mask and let's beat this virus so we can get back to the things we love. Mask up, America.
You're watching The Fact.
Hi, welcome back to Golden Years. I am interviewing Carl DeForest, our city manager of Brunswick, and he is going to give us some new happenings that are happening in the city. Carl, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Lori. It's always a pleasure to see you and be around you.
Ditto, ditto. Okay, one thing I want to ask you, Carl, because the last time you were on my show, we were talking about the 2020 census. So what happened with that? What with the COVID hitting and everything? What was the outcome of that?
Yeah, this crazy little thing called COVID hit us. And as we were developing the plan, we were supposed to go door to door, and there's supposed to be census workers interviewing people. You're supposed to get 3 attempts to have contact. And for instance, they would send you letters, and if you got online and completed the census, they wouldn't bother you anymore. If you didn't get online or call in, they would send you another notice. Well, after 3 notices, they were supposed to come start knocking on your door and try to get an accurate count, because the federal funding for the next 10 years depends on that accurate count. But with COVID, when COVID hit, with social distancing concerns and the transmission of the disease, they put the brakes on a lot of that stuff. We ended up not having meetings where we're going to bring people in and explain to them what was going to happen with the census count, and they stopped sending the people to knock on the doors and encourage people to fill out the census. So it's undetermined how many people did not get reached, but at last count, the city of Brunswick was leading Medina County with the percentage of completion, which we fully expected at the beginning, because we, very competitive, and we like beating everybody and everything. So the COVID hit every part of our operation and every part of the federal operation and state operation, to include the census. So that's unfortunate, and all the census release data has been pushed back, and that impacts the wards in the city and all kinds of districts throughout the state. So it's going to have an impact well into the future, and it's very unfortunate, but it was just a byproduct of a worldwide pandemic, unfortunately.
And there's no way they could have rolled it into 21?
They probably could have, if you ask me, but at the federal level, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, and there's even local municipalities depend on the census to redraw districts when it comes to wards and boundaries and things of this nature. So the more you delay it, and how long do you delay it? It's just like we've got City Hall closed, and City Hall closed last March, and we didn't know if it was going to be closed for 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, and it's an unknown. So you don't want to delay it forever. So I think the federal government did the right thing by delaying it temporarily, and then changing the methodology in which they gathered the information and the connectivity to the communities. Unfortunately, you don't want to send people out into the community and be banging on doors, and people get sick as a result of that.
It was too much of a crazy time. So someone knocking on your door would not have been welcomed.
Exactly, yes.
Speaking of City Hall, so you said right now it still is closed a year later.
It's open by appointment, so if you need something, you can certainly get in. But City Hall is currently closed. But if you show up at City Hall, there's a listing of direct dial phone numbers if you need something from the building department, service department, city manager's office, human resources. And if you need human contact, somebody to follow up with you, then one of our employees will come to the door and give you guidance, information, insight. But what we did was we enhanced our online presence and bill paying and tax preparation and e-file, electronic filing for taxes. So while the pandemic was a bad thing, it forced us into updating some technologies that we otherwise wouldn't have because we didn't need them and there was not a big call for them. So we've got some things that are operational now that will be operational forever as a result of the pandemic, much like the connectivity. I mean, we're doing the show, and I don't know how it's going to show up on the television, but we're not even in the same studio, you know, and I miss you from afar. But that's just the nature of the beast. We had to change, modify what we're doing just to keep people safe and yet still deliver quality products. So City Hall is closed, but we still have all the services available.
So share with my viewers about the tax assistance that you alluded to.
Okay, so
you could do that online, or?
You can indeed. If you go to the city's website at www.brunswick.oh.us, if you have a simple 2020 tax return, you can file it and pay online. It's an e-file. If you need assistance, there is a scheduling app where you will have a Google Duo discussion with one of our tax representatives. And let's say you just retired and you have these investments, you don't know what to do with this and do with that, you can get a block of time, I do believe it's 20 minutes in length, where you're actually talking and interacting with one of our tax assistants, and they'll say, okay, in block C, you put this, get your W-2 out, put this over here, and they'll actually help you, and then you can file your taxes. And we have a box out front where you can drop your taxes off so you don't need to come into the building. And the e-file was one of those things that we had in the background. It was ready to go, but we didn't trip the switch on it until the pandemic hit because we didn't really need it. And then we encouraged people to use it, and we've seen an increase in the usership as a result of that. So that's very beneficial. And refuse and stormwater bill payment, you can also do that on the website. And again, that's www.brunswick.oh.us. And if you need something that is not available on the website, there are direct dial numbers on the website. And if you can't figure out who to call, you call the city manager's office, and Betsy will help figure out where you need to go and who needs to help you, and we'll get you taken care of.
I think COVID just put us in a whole different area, because if people weren't used to working on the computer, like more or less they were forced to do it, and there's so much help out there for people to do everything now virtual. And I think a lot of seniors probably were afraid to try.
Yes, I know. I mean, my mother is 89 years old, and she never got her first COVID stimulus check because she hadn't filed taxes because she doesn't have any money.
Oh, yeah.
And she's on Social Security and things of this nature. And until she filed her 1040 EZ, she wasn't in the system at the federal level. So she had to have somebody help her, and she lives in upstate New York. And so somebody was able to help her. They filed it, and I just spoke to her last night, and just within the last week, she got her stimulus check from last year. So that's good. And again, it's one of those things where if you've never done it before, it seems to be a daunting task. But if you get just a little bit of help from the right person, then you can get it done, get it taken care of, and it's really advantageous. And there's some people who use Facebook all the time, and they're 70, 80 years old, and they're on it all the time. So those are the people we need to help, people like my mother, who's 89 and has not ever owned a computer and never will. But again, every once in a while, everybody needs a little bit of help.
But kudos to her for not being afraid to try.
Yes.
And accepting the help from somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, if someone is, let's say, not so much a senior, but physically challenged, and it deals with their garbage, their cans that have to get to the street every week, is there help in the city that they will magically get the cans out?
There absolutely is, and this is not a new program. It actually existed as long as 20 years ago, but not a lot of people know about it, and that's why when we're engaged in forums such as this, we encourage people to look and see what's available. So if you're handicapped, disabled, or elderly, and you're unable to get your trash or recycling down to the street, there's a form that you can fill out. You fill the information out, and then you take it to your doctor, they process it, and let's say, it's maybe you've got, you had just had back surgery and you're going to be disabled for a year and you can't move the cans. The doctor will fill it out. They get it back to the city, the service department. We then coordinate with Republic, which is our trash hauler. And they will then call you and say, hello, this is Miss Lori Betts. Yes, we understand you need some assistance. We'll help you your pickup days on Tuesday mornings. Where will your trash can be so that we can get it? They'll actually come up to your house, get your trash can or recycling, take it down, empty it, and then return it back to your house. So that's a medical exemption. The form is on the city's website, again, www.brunswick.oh.us. If you can't or you don't have access to a computer, you call the city manager's office. We will send you the form, and we'll get somebody from the service department to call you and answer any questions you have. And then Republic coordinates, and they pick up your trash and recycling, and all you got to do is get it outside your house. They're not going to come into your house to get it because there's liability issues, and we don't want people trespassing in folks' houses and things of that nature. But that is something that we have available. And if folks want to call the service department, the phone number is 330-558-6804.
I know a lot of seniors have to either depend on a neighbor, or even if their children live an hour away, they have to say, okay, Mom, I'll be there at this time. You have all your trash together and we'll just roll out the cans.
Yes, and I got to throw in a disclaimer that there's some people who do not want any assistance, and obviously we can't make people get assistance. There was one gentleman who only wanted assistance during the winter because he's wheelchair bound, and he wanted to take his trash can out unless it was snowing. So we were able to coordinate that Republic was able to retrieve his trash and his recycling when there was more than, say, an inch of snow. But other than that, he wants to take it down because he wants to do it himself. And we understand and appreciate that. But if there's anything we can do for a senior or someone else that needs assistance, then our goal is to get that done for them.
Awesome. Kudos to you guys.
Awesome sauce, yes.
Speaking of the seniors, do I hear there's some trips starting up for the seniors?
You have heard that, and you heard that from me. All right, so don't play coy with me. So here is the 2021 Medina County Office for Older Adults partnership with Brunswick Rec Center presents the 2021 Time to Travel. These brochures are available at the Brunswick Rec Center, and they outline trips that are available for seniors starting in June, or June, July, August, the summer months, when it's going to get a little toastier out there. And there are only a few bucks. There's limited seating due to the COVID restrictions currently. And again, we don't know when they're going to be lifted and what restrictions may still exist in June, July, or August. But if you want this information, it's available at the rec center, or you can call Jenny, who is the activities coordinator, at 330-725-9177. That number again, 330-725-9177. But there's really neat trips. There's trips to Put-in Bay, a local winery, downtown Cleveland, famous landmarks. Obviously, that's not just one trip. Those are separate trips. And actually, I think they drive past your house in North Royalton, if I'm not mistaken. And they may even,
all right, so they can pick me up.
They may even stop there for lunch if everything goes well.
Okay.
So if you want information on senior trips, this brochure is available at the Brunswick Rec Center, or you can call Jenny at 725-9177, and they'll get the information to you as well.
Oh, that is awesome. Awesome. Is the rec center open right now?
The rec center is open right now, and it's been open. It was closed for about 6 weeks last year at the height of...
That's it?
Yeah, 6-7 weeks, something like that.
Okay.
And so it is open. We modified the hours a little bit. For instance, it's only open 8 a.m. to noon on Saturdays and Sundays. It used to be open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we modified the hours a little. There's social distancing. You have to wear a mask. You have to clean the surfaces of the machines and things of this nature. And by time this is on television, the track will be open back up. We had to close the track because people walking on the track. It's 1/16 of a mile track. So you're going to be close in proximity to somebody, even if there's only 2 people on the track, you and somebody else. So due to the pandemic, social distancing concerns, and aerosolation of the breath. We closed the track, and we're just going to open it up in the next couple days. And so, yes, the rec center is open, and we encourage people to come back. If you want a membership, call the rec center, and we'll get you hooked up. It's a great place to be. And fewer people use the rec center when the weather changes, and hopefully it'll be in the 50s and 60s here in the next couple days. But the rec center is indeed open, yes.
So is the pool open for the seniors?
The pool
Or in general? Or?
The pool is open, and it has been open since we opened back up last year, but due to the restrictions, it's open for lane swim only, and you have to reserve a slot. And so if you get a lane, you can go in that lane with just you and your family. Like if I wanted to go swimming with you and Tom and Ben,
okay.
We'd have to have 4 different lanes because we're not related. So you've got to get a slot and stay in your lane.
Okay, share with me, what is all the building going on in Brunswick? Do we have new buildings going in?
We just had groundbreaking in the last couple of days for Myers. Now, Myers, it's probably the only thing I've ever liked that came out of Michigan. It's a family-owned grocery store, and it's kind of like I don't want to give anybody bad information, but it's kind of like a super Walmart. It's like a Bueller's on steroids because it has, you can buy anything from a ham sandwich to a t-shirt to a kayak to a drill set at Myers. And Myers just broke ground. They're going to be building, it's on Center Road, just east of Maxwell Drive. They're going to have a large facility. It's going to be approximately 140,000 square foot, and they just started building or clearing the land in March of this year, and they hope to open in spring of 2022. So it takes a long time to build something this large, and they have an outdoor plant area, they have hardware area, they have clothing, they have shoes, they have deli, they have, it's going to be a nice store. And they'll actually have a gas pump, kind of like a get-go type situation where you get fuel perks and things of that sort. But that's the biggest thing that's going on. And recently the Brunswick Middle School opened up, and that's right around the corner here, right behind us here at the BAT studio. And that was a significant build here in the city, and they closed down 3 middle schools. They had to actually knock 2 down to build the new middle school, and that's a very, very nice facility. It's something that was needed for a very long time in the city, and I actually had people say, why are they knocking down the middle schools? Well, one was almost 100 years old and had asbestos in it and things of this nature, so it was outdated, and this is a new state-of-the-art school. So we got Myers coming in, we have a new middle school. Chick-fil-A, actually before the taping, you were asking me about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is right there by Giant Eagle, and folks love Chick-fil-A. We anticipated lots of traffic problems because everybody goes to Chick-fil-A except on Fridays during Lent, and they're never open on Sundays, which is obviously a good thing for the folks who work there. But it's been very busy, and we've had no traffic complaints, no tie-ups, no snags as a result of that. We got Bank of America coming in, and that's going to be right across from Chick-fil-A where the old pizza fire was. Bank of America is a huge banking institution, and so it's nice to have them in the city. And we've got a lot of stuff going on. And soon we're going to start phase 1 of the Plum Creek Greenway Trail. And eventually we hope to have a 3-phase trail that connects Plum Creek Park, which is actually in Brunswick Hills Township, to our south, just across Sleepy Hollow Road to Brunswick Lake. So phase 1 was funded as a result of grant funding and some match from the city, and it's going to be constructed this spring of 2021, should be in place, and it's going to go from Sleepy Hollow Road, just across from Plum Creek Park, north to Huntington School. Phase 2 would go from Huntington School to Laurel Road. Phase 3 would go from Laurel Road to Brunswick Lake. And I'm hoping that gets done, tax title out the door in the next 2 to 3 years. But a lot of it depends on funding, and we're currently in the final phase of consideration for phase 2 of the funding, which comes through ODNR, which is Ohio Department of Natural Resources at the state level. So we've already got funding for phase 1, which will go from Sleepy Hollow to Huntington School, and that'll be a 10-foot wide asphalt path, and it'll be a multi-use path. You can push a stroller, you can jog, you can ride a bicycle on it, and it'll be nice. It'll be a nice addition to the city. And what we hope to do eventually is to connect Plum Creek Park to Brunswick Lake Park. So that construction
Wow,
starts.
that sounds awesome.
Yes, yes, and we remind people that we got a trail around Brunswick Lake, and we got the nature center there. We're working with the schools to come up with funding for an inclusive playground. There was a young lady who is a teacher at school, works with special needs population, who presented to council in December, and now we're working on an agreement between the city and the schools that if the PTOs, PTAs, and nonprofits make donations, they come to the city, and if we get enough money, we'll build an all-inclusive or handicapped playground at Nura Park. But one of these playgrounds can cost anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000, so it's not a small project. And if we had people like Lori Betts in Rotary, I know that we could team up and get this thing knocked out of the park. So that's something that's really exciting. It would be kind of a keystone project for a lot of folks, and we're hoping to pull that together in the next 1 to 2 years. But again, we're looking for funding at the federal level, the local level, the state level, anything we can get to put toward these projects to include the trails and that playground that I just mentioned.
There's a lot of walkers in the city, and they want to be outdoors, and they all have kids. So I'm sure it would be a
Yes, and
good thing.
I hope that comes to fruition, but no matter what you do, there's somebody who says, well, I want it, I just don't want it here.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Myers or a gas station or a trail or a park, everybody loves those things, but they want them over there. They want to buy Lori's house, down the street from Tom, right around the corner from Ben, but yeah, I don't want it in my backyard. So we have to work through some of those things. And, but normally once those things come into town, whether it's Chick-fil-A, Myers, the trail, a park, everybody sees the value in it. And we're hoping that people are a little patient and considerate of others, and we can pull some of these things together.
I want to know if there's any senior housing going up.
Not specifically senior housing, but there's some detached clusters that are going to be coming into town. We have a number of new housing options. And Overlook Point, which is an extension of Vicky Drive, Oak Ridge Preserve, which are single-family cluster homes off Pearl, just northwest of St. Ambrose, Ridgeline Chase. There's going to be 77 houses, and that's on Pearl Road on the southern part of town, on the west side of Pearl, down by Rito's in that area. So that's going to be really nice, and some of them are pretty high-end housing developments, and there's actually going to be one off South Carpenter by South Carpenter and Laurel. That property was just annexed recently to the city, and the plans for that development are being developed currently.
Oh, wow. This is another rumor, because my employee used it. Lock boxes. Are there lock boxes for the seniors?
Lockbox. It sounds like something that Dr. Seuss would have. Locks box, Knox box. Come on, get your stop box. But yes, we do have 2 really good programs that are available through the Division of Fire. It's the Lockbox program and your phone, so that's 2, and the smoke detector program. So with lockboxes, if you have, we have what we call addresses where we go back frequently because of medical issues or people fall, and if we can't get in your house, we don't want to bust the door or a window to get in there. If there's a lockbox on the outside, which is available through the Division of Fire, there's a charge for it, but if you can't pony up the charge, then we'll find some way to pay for it. And then what we can do is we can put a key in this lockbox. Division of Fire has the code. They show up at your house. It's on the outside of your house. They punch in the code. They get the key. They enter your door without breaking the thing down with an axe or whatever. They help you out. Whether you got, maybe you just need a pickup. You got to get off the floor and get on the bed or, into a chair or whatever the case may be. Maybe you need to be transported to the hospital. Then they can lock your door and everything is fine. So the lockbox is something that we encourage people who have medical issues or maybe they're elderly to get, so that we can have easy access to the house. We don't give the codes out to solicitors or people who want to sell you things or anything of that nature, but that's a program that's available. Another one is the smoke detector installation program. If you have a house in the city of Brunswick We encourage you to have one smoke detector per floor. So if you have 3 floors, that's 3 smoke detectors. We will give the smoke detector to you for free. We'll also install it. And it's sad when you hear of somebody who gets injured or killed in a fire who does not have smoke detectors. And there's no reason these days not to have smoke detectors. And if you can't afford them, we'll give them to you. And not only will we give them to you, we'll install them. Our firefighters will come out and they'll mask up and they'll bring a ladder and they'll install them for you. They'll check and make sure they're working and things of that nature. They give you a battery. So if you need a smoke detector, we encourage you to contact the Division of Fire. That number is 330-273-8046. That number again, 330-273-8046. We'll install that for you, and it's not based on income. You could be a multimillionaire, kind of like you are, Lori, and you just can't get to the store because you're working all the time, kind of like you, and you need a smoke detector. If you lived in Brunswick and not North Royalton, you could call us. We'd come out and install the thing for you, and it'd be easy peasy lemon squeezy, and you'd be taken care of. So that's another program that we have, which just separates us from everybody else and makes Brunswick a fabulous place to be.
And that is awesome. You're taking care of the elderly, the seniors who need that extra eyes on them.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. So do you want to tell anything else to our viewers before we sign off?
Yes,
Since the alarm went off?
I want to make sure that everybody knows we miss them. You know, we had to cancel a lot of things over the last year or two, especially, you know, we have a veterans breakfast that we had for 3 years in a row, and the city pays for it. We get homestead insurance normally sponsors it. We don't use any tax money, and our staff volunteers, and it's so wonderful to interact with our veterans, those people who raised their hand, took an oath to defend our country, and now we're just giving them a breakfast and a little ditty bag or whatever, and we really miss them. It was in October of every year. Hopefully everything will be gone. You know, the restrictions will be lifted and we can pull this off. This year, we didn't have fairs and festivals and things of that nature, and we really miss being out in the community. We're doing the best we can with what we have. We'll continue to do better every day. And I think part of the reason the population in Brunswick is bigger than Medina and Wadsworth is because it's just a great place to be. And we got wonderful people like you and Tom and Ben. And it's a great place to be. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here. I'd be someplace else. I like working here. By the time this is shown, I will have been with the city for 30 years, and I've loved just about every day. There's been some rough days, but overall, it's a great place to be. It's a great population. Medina County is a wonderful place to be. You know, Mayor Robin Lawbaugh in Wadsworth and Dennis Hanwell in Medina are great to work with. And we've just got a fabulous location, fabulous community network, and you couldn't find a better place in the United States to live than Northeast Ohio. And Brunswick was ranked the 17th safest city in the state of Ohio recently. And again, it's a great place to be, and we have wonderful folks here.
And everybody does get along, so that is wonderful.
Yes.
And through this whole pandemic, it seems like more people, they haven't been forgotten. So I think that is great, because there's a lot of people out there reaching out to the seniors, because a big thing going on was depression, because a lot of them are at home and they don't get to see people. And if someone doesn't reach out to connect with these people, you know, it could be pretty lonely.
I would agree. Yes.
So I'm glad to see that everything is happening out there still to help everyone.
And hopefully we'll have our doors open soon.
Okay, we'll be coming in to see you,
All right.
Mr. Carl.
Can't
Thanks
wait.
for joining us this month.
It's been my pleasure, as always.
And you be safe.
I will do that.
And we'll see you in person real soon. Thanks for joining us this month, and happy spring.